All right. Um, so I love it when I suddenly lose the stream. It's the best. It's awesome when I suddenly lose the stream. Yes. Yes, that is great. That is wonderful. I'm going to give it a minute to wait to see if stream comes back on if the stream comes back online. Okay, it says live, but it also says unstable. Oh, session 44 seconds. Okay. But it's not showing my monitor. No face. Face. No face. Face. That doesn't affect it. It says I'm offline, but it also says the current session is going on for a minute. Oh, I love it. So yeah, my I have a space heater down here because I am currently working in my basement, and the basement heater just decided, oh hey, guess what? You're streaming at the same time as doing this, so I'm gonna trip your um yeah. I'm gonna trip your circuit breaker. So yeah, I lost it. I lost power. Hopefully it is back online. Hold on. Can I get my stream preview? Yes! Yay, it's working. Okay, goody. I'm back online. Yay. No, wrong folder. Utilities, game engines, Unity. Okay. 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 First stream test. Throw out. Close that. I'm going to try closing everything that is not the stream. Don't need that. Don't need you. I'm wondering if there's a way I could get my computer to run in efficiency mode just because I'm worried the power draw is too much and we're going to trip something at some point soon. Again, I mean, I'm hopeful not. I'm hopeful we are good. I'm hopeful nothing bad happens again. But I switched over the space heater to a different circuit, so we should be fine. We should be good. What the heck was I doing? Exception. Failed to load asset blank blank. The file may have been deleted or moved. Input system. Input actions editor window. Well, nothing's affected anything so far, so. Do we have a... Hold on, window... How do we open up the window for the inputs? Edit in project window. Okay. Oh, yeah, right, because it's a separate project settings window now for it. So you don't have to have your own separate little window set up. I mean, I like having the separate little window set up, but that's okay. Okay. So, nav mesh surface. Enemy. We have a prefabs folder. We're going to drag our enemy to the prefabs folder. Oh, we already have it in there. Okay, never mind. Get rid of that. Delete. You know what? Yeah, delete that. We have our enemy here. Okay, does it have... Yes, it has the script. Okay. Create empty enemy spawner. Reset that to 0. Did we have... Okay, so I guess I didn't save the scene. So it didn't save the fact that we had enemy spawner, but Ryder did save spawn enemies. So not a total loss. Not a total loss. If the circuit breaker trips again and I suddenly disappear, then I guess we're just going to call it a day for now. But yeah, I will know for next time that if I do a stream, I need to make sure that you know, doesn't die. Yeah, that's important, that the stream does not die. Okay, so. Oh, I didn't save anything. No. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. We're good. We're good. Okay. We do not have a game object of enemies. We have enemy AI enemies. Though that actually is an interesting idea that the AI just kind of threw at me, of making that a thing and we just spawn enemies based on, yeah. Private spawn points. Okay. So what we gonna do is, oh right, we also need a no. We need a float time between spawns. And then a private float timer. Okay, so we're going to uptick the timer every frame. Timer plus time dot delta time. If the timer is less than the time between spawns, return. We don't want to do nothing else. Otherwise, timer equals 0. Now, that's technically not how you're supposed to do it. There is a better way to handle it where instead of the timer just getting set straight to 0, it's set to, I think it's set to itself minus time between spawns, so that way it better match, because there's like a little bit of overlap usually between what your timer actually says and trying to visualize exactly what. Basically, if you just set the timer to 0, then the time between spawns is actually going to be slightly less based on the frame rate. We're just sort of, getting something close to it, but yeah. That's something I need to get better at, is describing how things work, things happen, because words are not my forte. I don't have a lot of fortes. Okay, so when the timer goes off, yeah, we're going to pick a random spawn point and a random enemy. And we're going to... I never intended on adding multiple enemies to this game, but the AI autocomplete was just like, oh yeah, you should have a collection of enemies. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds like a cool idea. Okay, so I think I know what I'm going to do with them. So we have our spawn point, we have our enemy, and our enemy, new enemy spawn equals instantiate we are going to instantiate enemies item number index and its position. There we go. Yep. Okay. So, now the reason why Enemies, spawn point, Quaternion. Now, the reason why I cached the object, which is going to be enemy AI, is because if we go into scripts and enemy AI, our target is set to public. So I can set that now. New enemy spawn dot target equals, and this is going to keep a reference to our player. So I don't have to set it. So this sets it for every single one of them. Serialized fields, private, transform player, big T transform. There we go. Okay, so we will, after a timer, pick a random enemy from our list of enemies. Pick a random spawn point from our list of spawn points. We will spawn an enemy, that random enemy, at that random spawn point, and that enemy will have its target set to the player. Okay, save that. Yeah, we have our private void update. Okay, and the enemy AI is just, okay, move toward the player. Okay, so yeah, let's create a couple spawn points. Let's create an empty object that is at 0, 0, 0. We're gonna rename it to spawn point. You know what? We're gonna create another empty. We're gonna call spawn points, and we're just gonna have all of our spawn points in there. Make sure that's all at 0. And we're gonna have 7 of them, and we're just gonna grab each one and just throw it in a random direction. Put one in that far corner way over there. Put one in this far corner way over here. Okay. Save that. So now we want to go to the enemy spawner. Lock that. Get all of our spawn points and add that to spawn points. Boom! Look at that. Enemies, we just have this one for now, so. And time between spawns, let's say 2. Okay, and now we need a reference to the player. Hold on, let's also have a environment, the plane, and all of these cubes, the directional light and the global volume, that's all part of the environment, so we'll just add that there. Clean it up a bit. Make it look nice. Okay, player is there. Okay, so we should start getting enemies spawning in. You know what? I need to select the player. Oh, right, that's locked. Okay. Player. And set the speed to like 5 so I can actually escape these guys because they are coming in from all directions. I am running away in all directions. Jesus. Okay, so what I want to do next is I need a gun. Right? That's going to be the next thing that I need. Haha, you're trapped on objects. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's just going to keep spawning them in, huh? I'm going to add a limiter to that. All right, yeah, we're going to add a limiter to the amount of enemies that can spawn. Let's see. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to set the limit to the number of enemies based on the frame rate. So if time.delta time is greater than is it 1 divided by 60? So if the frame rate, so if the amount of time between frames is greater than 1/60th of a second, then we're not going to spawn them. That will give us a set limit on the number that will spawn. It should, at least. Let's make sure they actually still spawn. Okay, they're still spawning. Good. And you know what? You know what? Yeah. No, I'm gonna focus on a way for me to actually fight back against them before adding anything special. I was thinking about adding a system where every time interval, like once every minute, it will increase the rate at which enemies spawn by a little bit, but I'm going to save that for another time. Let's try and get some way for us to actually fight back. So, yeah. What I need is on the player, I need a empty object that is going to be a swivel. That is not spelled correctly at all. Swivel? That looks a little closer. Maybe. And then on that, create another empty that is going to be a bullet spawn. So the swivel is, I want to rotate that so that it's constantly looking at whatever point the mouse is facing. The other option is, oh, you know what? Here, I can do this instead. How do I want to handle this? I suppose my goal should be to make it as simple as possible. Just because, you know, again, starter project, just trying to get... I'm mostly just trying to get used to talking while I'm working on something and explaining my thought process because, you know, streaming. But, how do I want to handle this? I want a bullet to come out from the player and hit an enemy. Now, I could just make it so that if I click on an enemy, they just take damage. That's a possibility. I could spawn an actual bullet that comes out of the player, too. And then have like a physics thing where it goes in that direction. So you have to sort of lead targets a little bit. But I don't think you have to lead targets because they're always coming toward you. You know what? I think we're just going to do the... Yeah, we're going to spawn a thing. Yeah, we're going to create a swivel and a bullet spawn. I spelt all of that wrong. Wow. Bullet spawn. There we go. Save. Now, how do I want the bullet to work? That's a question. Actually, you know what I want to try? Hold on. Let's take our character and rotate it 90 degrees. Do I need the swivel? That's the important question here. Oh my goodness, yes I do. Wow, okay. Okay, let's see if we can modify our movement a little bit, get spawn enemies inside of our scripts. Okay, movement. We just use translate. Dot position plus equal to movement. Okay, try that. Okay, a little bit more bouncy on the blocks here, but here, let's try interpolate and continuous. Oh, that makes it worse. That makes it way worse. Just interpolate. Okay, so interpolate is extrapolate. I don't know what most of these do. I just play with them until something works. Okay, and continuous. Okay, well, you know what? For now, it's good enough. It's functional. Like I said, using a character controller is probably going to be the better way to do it because you can... The character controller allows you to use physics to tell it to go in a certain direction. So when it comes into contact with an object, it's a smooth contact. It is a better way of doing it. I'm not doing it here just because I haven't used character controller in a little while, and speed is the goal. But yes, so 0. Our rotation now does not matter. So now what I want to do is create a script to... Yeah, you can also just add scripts directly through the text editor. Let's see. Unity script, monobehavior. What is this monobehavior going to do? This is going to be the... rotate to face, not mouse, cursor. Excuse me. Okay, so what do we need? We need an update method. What this is going to do is we need to get our mouse position, and we need to get a reference from our camera. camera in awake, we're going to get equals camera.main. Even though it's already cached, camera.main used to be inefficient to get because it was a find function, but now the main camera is cached. So you don't need to do this anymore in order to get your camera in an efficient way. You can just type this out wherever you happen to need it. Rider doesn't seem to know that. So if I have in here, what the heck did I just type? Dot main dot. Yeah, see how it has that orange underline under it now? That is because Rider still thinks this is an inefficient function, even though they have fixed that. So, yeah. Cam dot world to screen points, screen to world point. And our screen point is input dot mouse position. Okay, so now we now get the point where our, wait, why did I call it camera point? Camera point is not a very descriptive name. It's cursor point. Okay, so we have a point where our cursor is looking at. Now, I don't want it to look at that exact point. I want it to look, if what we're looking at is the ground, I want it to look slightly above that. How do I do that? Because this just returns a... You know what? I think I know what I'm going to do. Yeah. Yeah, I think I know what I'm going to do. Let's think about this for a sec. So we have our cursor points. Dot Y. Yeah, the only issue is the height. So I want it to, like if I shoot at a wall, I want it to hit that point on the wall. But I don't want it to go, since we're a top-down game, the Y direction doesn't matter. It should be the same for pretty much everything. So cursor point dot Y equals, what's the height of our character? Okay, the sphere is up by 0.5, so we're going to say 0.5. That is a magic number. You are not supposed to use it, but you know what? I'm going to use it anyway. Okay, so we set that value. Now, what do we do with it? What are we doing with it? I need a reference to the character. Oh, we can get rid of that magic number. Okay, cool. Private transform player. Okay. Player.y. Position.y. Okay. Okay. We're going to turn to face that. And I really should. I'm dying. I'm dying. I am getting a phone call from my girlfriend. I am going to mute the stream for just a moment. Yeah, I'm gonna have to end the stream, unfortunately. Personal stuff came up, so yeah. I'll get back to this in a little bit, hopefully. Yeah, talk to you guys later.